Hello, I'm Lorena Dore, and welcome to Heirs to the Throne channel. Today, we'll be hosting an international development expert by the name Kevin Bewa, or you can call him Kevin Anyango Arindo, who not only being an international development expert, but is also the founder of Mtandao Varsity, which deals with soft skills. So definitely, I believe this is gonna help you, the soft skills thing. So he's gonna delve into what soft skills is and tell us more about the Mtandao Varsity and what they do, they deal with basically. And trust you me, you're gonna love this. With the current situation in the current world, this is a must-have soft skills. So stay tuned. He'll be joining shortly. You can just tell us who Kevin is, and I believe you're into international development as well. And
Yes.
apart from that, Mtandao Varsity, which is more of soft skills. So maybe you can just let us know more about Mtandao Varsity and yourself as well.
Yes. Right. Well, thanks for that, Lauren. I think if I just tell you the journey and why I created this.
Yes.
So as you say, my name is Kevin Anyango. I'm based in London, and I work in what you call international development.
Okay.
And what that means, in simple terms, is that I work for a foundation that invests into community projects.
Okay.
I've done that for my life. At the moment, my main assignment is looking at those organizations that use sports as a tool for social change, and so we give them grants to continue the work, and also we do a bit of training as well. So my main role myself is I look at innovation programs, and also I do what we call capacity building, depending on what organizations want. And the foundation works all over the world, really. And so we come across very interesting things. And it is through that I created Mtandao Varsity, and this is why. So I mean, you can see, look, I don't know whether you know how old I am, but whenever I go to places, people will ask me questions like, oh, Kevin, in Swahili, tupatie kazi, or Kevin, how can I join you? Things like those, really. And I'm talking about people that have got very good academic qualifications,
Yes.
And yeah, so they struggle to look for work. And also, I've been fortunate enough also to be into various panels when conducting interviews.
Yes.
And sometimes when you see people come to the interview, they come cramming their CVs.
Okay.
But that's not what you're interested in. When someone asks you to come for the interview,
yes,
that means they like what they've seen on paper.
Yes.
Okay. So now they want to understand your personality now. Do you fit within the team?
Yes.
What else do you have that you can offer to us? So Mtandao Varsity is trying to spread or to share what employers want, and that is soft skills. These are skills that you don't learn from school. They're things that you learn as you grow. They're habits that you develop.
Yes, yes.
And so what I do on this particular platform is to talk about those stuff, like leadership skills. How do you talk about your leadership skills in an interview, for instance?
Yes.
How do you talk about let's say your communication skills? How do you dress up? So those things that maybe you and I might take for granted, but they really matter in an employment.
Okay. So when you say like you deal with sports as a tool, how does this come into like what you do? How do you use sport as a tool?
Right. So I'll give an example. For instance, let's say Nairobi. Where let's say there's a crime. Well, I'll take a particular estate, for instance. Let's say there's a high increase in crime in Nairobi, for instance.
Yeah.
And so to enable young people, to use their guns or use their knives to go and rob somebody, let's keep them occupied, and also tell them why having knife or a gun is not good for them.
Yes.
And to capture their attention, we use sports. So, for example, you come and play football with us, not with us, but with a particular organization. They say, okay, we've got this tournament about football or basketball. And as they play, then you're able to pass the message. Because you already hook them up. They like sports. they like playing it. So you provide that opportunity or that platform for them to come and play. And as they play now you talk about the dangers of using guns or the dangers of using knives. So it becomes the sports is a hook to make them play, or to come and join organizations. For instance, there is an organization in Kilifi called Moving the Goalpost. That they use sports, they use football actually, to talk about some of the challenges that girls go through. And also they use sports to make girls stay in school longer, because the girls know that if I go to play football, if I go to school, I'll be able to come and play football as well, and learn. So they use the sport again, to bring guys together, to kind of break the ceiling, really. Tell the guys, look, you can do more, than just your looks, or you can actually, earn a living than not depending on a particular person, a man, for instance. So hence I use the word tool. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. What pays the bill?
Okay, that's great, Kevin. And you find like mostly in, let me use example of my country, Kenya, or our country, Kenya. You find that during this pandemic, most of girls are pregnant, have been impregnated, like lots and lots. Does it mean that there's a gap that was missing in order to lower this rate down, or we didn't just give a lot, considering that you yourself, you guys are using sports as a tool? Does it mean that we didn't give?
Well, that's a good question, Lauren. And I'm going to be very, very open and honest with you. First of all, COVID-19 have changed the way things work.
Yes.
This is a virus that is very complicated. Nobody knows, what it is really. Even the scientists, they're still doing research. Now, when it comes to girls' pregnancy, I think it's a bit unfair. Although actually, I read this report, so people talk about, girls are not in school now, so they become vulnerable. Men are sleeping with them. It is not. First of all, it's not girls' problem. It's not because of them. I think that it starts with the family, community, as well. But once you start pinpointing girls, like, oh, you guys are the ones who've been pregnant, then there's a problem there. Those girls don't get pregnant on their own. Okay. They are having intimate relationship with men. So the problem is not the girls. The problem is girls and men. Now, when you look at the young people or teenagers, they're not in school now, they're at home. Then you want to ask, are the parents around? Where are their friends? And also these girls, they know who are targeting them. Like, they know these boys. So it's not just a girl's problem. It is a societal problem. And all of us should talk about it. And men should be responsible. It's not just girls. Men also should be responsible. So girls need to be, not just girls, but both girls and men need to be active. They need to have something to do. And now sports can be a way of bring these people together, make them active. But now there's an issue of we've got to be very careful in terms of following science advice. Sanitize, keep your distance. Avoid crowd. So even the sport itself is now kind of it's changing the way we used to play sports. Because again, I'm going to talk about Europe. Where both Europe and America have really, really been affected in terms of the number of deaths and number of infections compared to Africa as a continent. So there are things that may work in Europe but may not work in most African countries. So when it comes, so to answer your question about sports, is we need to be innovative enough to make sure that even though we're trying to involve people in the community with sports, we are actually observing some of those advice being given by the scientists and the governments as well. But for me, sport is a major way, of passing the message, not just to girls, but to people in the society. So it's not just girls' problem, and I don't think it's I don't think it's right, to say that the girls are getting pregnant during COVID. No, it's both girls and men have to be responsible as well.
Okay. And then like the Mtandao varsity, how, if I want to be part of it, if I want to join it, or someone outside there who wants to be part of it, is there any way that they can do, or what they need to have for them to be part of Mtandao varsity?
So as I said earlier, so the platform is to talk about experiences and what employers are looking for. And soft skills are, as I said, are those habits that make you stand out, or make you attractive to employers. So so the platform is open for anyone. I use Zoom as you're doing right now. I usually have a live audience, or I use YouTube. I used to have so the varsity started, it's almost 4 years now, blimey, 4 years when it started. And I used to have just live audience. So I'll create time, for example, on a Tuesday afternoon, and invite people to Zoom and discuss with me. But now, Zoom is very expensive sometimes. So I'm trying to I use YouTube. And it's not just me now. So I'm inviting various people that have good experience in a particular area. I don't, so it's not an interview. For me, when I talk to guests that come to the show, it's just come and talk about soft skills. For example, how can you develop your writing skills, for instance? As I said, how do you talk about leadership in an interview? So basically, it's for anyone really. So whenever I have a guest, like for example, on Tuesday, I'll be talking to James Smart, journalist in Kenya. Oh yes, I know. James is a big one. So yeah, I'll be having one Tuesday in the evening. And we'll be talking about journalism. How can young people develop their talent when it comes to writing, or when it comes to communicating clearly? So for me, I'm inviting anyone really that have good experience in a particular area and have good passion for young people, to come and talk about how they can develop their careers. It's not an interview at all. I don't ask about background. It's just talking about the act or the skill. And as I said, employers are not interested in how many degrees you have. Employers want you to make money for them.
Exactly.
And they need to understand that you've got the skills that will help them make money. Do you see what I mean? And Lauren, this is not just me. I mean, soft skills. So United Nations have been talking about soft skills ever since I can remember. Because we spend lots of time, doing degrees or going master, which is good. Education is good, but there's another element called dynamics of looking for employment. You've got to stand out, and hence I'm talking about habits or those behaviors that employers identify, and they ask you to come and join them on board.
Okay. So maybe if I can just comment also, there was you used to have a section, Rob, where any person who felt like just writing up or coming to throw out his or her mind could just come and just write whatever they felt like writing on that website. Is it still on, or it stopped?
Oh yes, Lauren, it's still there. And if I just say something again about myself. So for me, I got my break. Somebody saw what I wrote online. And they gave me an opportunity, and that was Huffington Post. And if you want to work, listen, nowadays, if you apply for work, the first thing people do is they Google you. Not that they look for celebrities, but just want to know, who is this person now? Nowadays, because social media. So when I Google you, Lauren Oduor, I will see what you say on Twitter, for instance, or Instagram. There is a way we can find out who you are. And if you're looking for international work, for instance, you've got to have passion in what you do. And writing is a way of presenting that passion. We're not, for instance, I'm not saying that we're all good at writing, no, but writing is like it makes you have footprints online. So for example, right now, if you Google me, you'll see some of the articles I used to write for both Huffington Post and Mtandao. So it's kind of, I'm communicating, or I'm expressing myself in terms of how passionate I am in what I do. So the writing element of the varsity or of the platform also, it's a way of giving people opportunity to present themselves online. And also it's a way of me, not mentoring, but also sharing skills when it comes to writing.
Okay.
You know, because there's no job that you get that doesn't require you to have a bit of writing skills.
True.
You know, it's, you know, you tell me, you know, there has to be an element that, you know, it involves in writing. And again, that's what the platform is trying to do, to give the opportunity to practice. And also, you know, I give advice. I want to use the word mentorship, but, you know, mentorship sometimes can be just about words, but not necessarily giving meaningful opportunity. You see what I mean? So
yes,
for me, just try to, you know, share skills with those people that are interested in writing, and also give opportunity within Mtandao Varsity, you know, for them to write as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Kevin, for that. And maybe as we're winding up, you can just share with us a little bit on like on the websites where we can reach you with, for any person who'd like to reach out to Kevin, any person who'd like to check on Mtandao Varsity. How can we reach you?
Yeah, well, so for the Mtandao Varsity, you know, you can, well, that's a good question. I can't find me. On Facebook, there's Mtandao Manenos on Facebook. On Twitter, there's Mtandao Varsity. On YouTube, again, there's Mtandao Varsity. So if you Google Mtandao Varsity, you know, you'll see some of the contacts there. How else? Yeah, just that really. So Facebook, Twitter. You know, the platform is not on Instagram yet, which, you know, maybe some to consider.
Yes.
But yeah, so Facebook, mostly Facebook, on Twitter as well. That's where you can find us.
Great. And maybe last word, what you can tell, especially my sisters back in the village. Me, I grew up in the village, so yes. What can you tell them, brothers and sisters, everyone, in case they want to reach where Kevin has reached now, or how they can just access Mtandao Varsity, considering that they are limited to, let's say, social internet things? Yes.
Well, look, COVID-19 have changed lives, you know, and it has affected many people. People have lost jobs, kids are not in school, and nobody knows what's tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
So for me, what my message is that, you know, don't just sit at home, wait for COVID-19 to disappear. You know, we need to adapt and live with it, live around COVID-19. Okay.
Yes.
So young people should continue building themselves. You know, it's especially on soft skills. What we are talking about now. These are the skills or habits that will open doors for many young people. You know, so take advantage of, you know, currently we've got internet, social media. Take advantage of that. You know, reach out to people. You know, build your networks. As I said, listen, so if you look at the Mtandao Varsity YouTube, you'll see I've talked to various people. These are people I've never met.
Yes.
You know, these are people I just send them a message on Twitter or Facebook. You know, I just write to them, and some write to me, some don't, and I understand that. You know, you know, some people don't like replying to strangers sometimes, or celebrities might think, oh, he's coming to my DM because he wants X, Y, Z. So, you know, I don't get positive results all the time.
Yes.
But I'm persistent because I believe in it. So my message to young people, to your audience, is don't just sit at home and wait for COVID-19 to disappear. Build yourself. You know, soft skills are what will open for you doors. And as we have said, there's various ways you can reach us. You know, through Facebook or Twitter, and even through you. Or those people that listen to this, you know, if they want my contact, you've got my contacts. But it's for anyone really, Lauren. It's not just for young people, it's for anyone who's looking to take jobs or to build themselves in their careers. Soft skills is the way to go. And I just hope people will hear this and people will join me in spreading the message.
Very right. Thank you so much for your time. And once more, I appreciate you creating your time at least to be with us and Heirs to the Throne, to share with us more about soft skills and Mtandao Varsity. And hopefully we'll get time again to indulge into more into details of it.
Indeed. Oh, Lori,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Really
you so
appreciate
much.
that.
Like you've heard, soft skills is the way to go. And in case you want to know more about soft skills, please visit at Mtandao Varsity in Facebook. You can also visit Mtandao Varsity on YouTube. Just search Mtandao Varsity. You'll get to know more about soft skills and what your employer needs, what that employer you're seeking job from needs, what you as an employee needs to do in order to get that job. That's all about soft skills. So visit their websites, get to know what it is, what is it, and what you need to have for you to get that next job of yours. They are also on Twitter at Mtandao Manenos. So you can find them on Facebook once again at Mtandao Varsity. On Twitter, you can find them on Mtandao Manenos, and on YouTube, you can find them on Mtandao Varsity. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time and for letting us into your world of Mtandao Varsity and sharing with us about soft skills. Till next time.